Let's be real, consistency is a struggle for most people today. We're going to look at how some individuals and companies stay consistent for years at a time, if not for a lifetime. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Andreja and I'm a professional executive coach. And on this channel, we talk about all things business, growth, and leadership. Hit that subscribe button to get notified when we post new content. Now, whether you're seeking discipline and consistency in achieving your goals, being consistent in your business, maybe developing and maintaining certain habits, or you just want to be generally more consistent in how you show up in life, then stay tuned. Step number 1 in being consistent with anything is checking at what this consistency means to you. We are all different, and one thing is for sure. The higher you are on the perfectionist scale, the harder it's going to be for you to hit your standard of consistency. For example, if your new goal is to run a marathon, but you haven't ran even 2 kilometers in the last 10 years, setting yourself up with running 10K 7 times a week from the get-go might not really set you up for success consistently. So step 2 is you want to test for your commitment. Do you really, and I mean really, want it? Are you willing to give certain things up in order to achieve your goal? Why do you want it so badly? Do you even know your real why? A lot of times we make a wish list of all these nice to haves, but generally, in order for this wish to become a reality, we need to take a step further. So step 3 is you want to make it very simple to follow. As soon as we make this big thing out of how much and how hard something's going to be, we instantly reduce our chances of making it happen. So you want to avoid analysis paralysis and rather start with one simple step that you can take immediately. Focusing on one thing at a time can help you maintain your focus hugely. Although I do understand that life usually requires us to balance and focus several areas at a time. So, how does one maintain their focus and keep their direction? Well, this brings us to step number 4, which means you want to schedule your musts. Make sure you take advantage of all the technological advances that you can use to help you stay on track, from productivity apps to reminders. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you use your laptop, your phone, or even just a regular paper planner. Just make sure that you schedule your must actions. One huge downfall, however, of always being super consistent is the threat of becoming very rigid and inflexible. Change really is the only constant there is, and the last thing that you want to do is start obsessing over how things need to be done every minute of every day. Being rigid or consistent to a point of becoming a control freak to everyone around you leaves people a little bit lonely, miserable, and very often burnt out. Now, to avoid this outcome, make sure that you plan for time off, some fun, and spontaneity. I know this maybe sounds very counterintuitive or even strange to some people, thinking, well, fun is supposed to be spontaneous, so why do I have to plan for it? But I know too many high achievers who simply love to be challenged, and work is actually really fun for them. They immerse and lose themselves in it every single day and breathe it very happily. So a year goes by and they forget to take vacation. Or they carry on working in the evenings, during weekends, and all of a sudden they start noticing some changes in their energy levels. Or they find themselves thrown off course or irritated easily. Now, these are all usually very early signs of burnout, and to prevent it, make sure you create a plan that is flexible enough and counts in for that time off, rest, and flexibility. Step 6 is, well, and this one might be actually one of the most important ones, treat times when you fall off course as temporary reset days and not as the end of the world. Because the quicker you forgive yourself and the quicker you stop beating yourself up for not being consistent, the faster you're gonna get back on track. Now, I know this would be extremely difficult for someone who has very high standards, but perfection can often be the distraction to execution. And you might want to follow done is better than perfect on those days when you're just simply not meeting your own version of 100%. Now, another thing for you to remember is that at the end of the day, it's your life and it's also your business. So you get to set the pace of how fast you want to go and also how consistent you want to be. There you go. Those were all the 6 steps to becoming more consistent sustainably. And just to recap them all, we had step number 1, check what consistency means to you. Step number 2 was testing your commitment and figuring out your why. Step number 3, make it simple to follow. Schedule your musts, plan for fun and time off. And last but not least, treat days of inconsistency as temporary and just move on. Now, if you'd like to hack your own consistency habits, why not consider coaching as your support tool to make it happen? You see, being coached doesn't mean you don't know how to do something. On the contrary, it simply means that you've scheduled and prioritized your thinking time. Your thinking time to tackle and solve those big ticket questions that will help you govern strategically and also think outside the box. Now, if you're interested in executive coaching or you know someone who is, let's connect. Now it's your time to shine. Share with us your top hacks for staying consistent in the comments below this video. I thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.